Well, hello there, all you beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays, where we are back in Empire of the Ants. We're just a little Formica rufa trying to make our way through the world, a little wood ant in a big colony. Alright, so let's see what we have to do today. First of all, we've got to chat to this ant over here. Okay, if I can just stop doing loop-de-loops, that'll be nice. Okay, there we go, thank you. So, this ant 201015, what have you got to say today? Mother has a mission for you, an urgent one. Let's just ask what it is also about. No idea. Since we woke up, she is less talkative than usual. Okay. Okay, so that's about it seems. Let's go chat to Mother. Now, as we are making our way back to Belokan, our city, we are just going to be following this trail of ants over here, because, you know, we are a Formica rufa after all, a wood ant, which do form trails. And the trail, of course, consists of a lot of pheromones being laid down, and ants smell that. They smell their world in a way that we can't perceive. And, well, we are going to just follow this trail back to the nest. And it seems they are carrying a piece of pine cone, so probably collecting that on the other side there. I really would love to see a massive wood ant mound like this. I mean, wow, this is just absolutely stunning. It really does remind me of the termite mounds we have here in South Africa as well. Except, you know, more wood than mud. Well, this is Future Ant Will, just popping in to just remind you that there is still the special going on at gamesplanet.com. If you use the code Ecologist, you can get a nice 14% discount on the purchase price of Empire of the Ants. And a massive thank you to Games Planet, of course, for the opportunity to have this collaboration, and then also for Microids for the review key of this game. You guys are awesome. Alright, now, back to the episode. Okay, so let's have our royal meeting. There we go. Into the nest we go. Deeper, deeper, and deeper we go. This looks like we should be in the royal chamber now. And there is the one of the queens of this nest. Mother, you called for me. Yes, I heard one of my daughters saved our southwestern outpost. I did what was best for the Federation, Mother. Look at those antennae move and those mouth parts. Wow, you showed initiative in the right direction. But there is another menace our Federation is facing. A flood is rising around the city of Tayukan. They need help. That's why we want you to lead 7 legions of workers to Tayukan. You will have to scout away through the waters. Alright, so here we go. Once there, should I inquire about the source of the flood? Oh, my dear child, you don't have to worry about that. Others will. Report to Queen Tayuni and see if the city can be saved, or if the population must be orderly evacuated. So, of course, a whole bunch of ants now going to the sister colony of ours, so that we can see how we can assist there. Gathering 7 legions that will force me to deplete our spring collection effort. So many things interesting in that conversation there, amongst others the fact that, okay, now Belokan has fewer workers. That's potentially going to be catastrophic, actually. The other thing is that we are helping out our sister colony, so we are functioning like a super colony, where some individuals may go to the other parts of the super colony and help out. It's not just a bunch of sister colonies that are taking care of themselves. These ones are cooperatively working as the Federation, it seems. And we need to now, I guess, make our way across with this flooded area to scout a path above the flood. Right, so having a quick look at the landscape here. Yeah. So for ants, this would be a catastrophic flood. For us, it'll be okay. So there is a bit of water that is standing over here. It's not that big a deal, but you know, if there were any ant colonies in this area, they would have had to evacuate before their nests got flooded. Hello there, dragonfly. 2 dragonflies. Oh, that's cool. And the bumblebee. Lots of flying critters. Of course, the flying individuals, the flying insects, they can move around here with no problem. So too the water striders, the pond skaters, that are also making their way on the water surface here, spreading out their weight, not sinking into the water. Technically, we can also do that. Except after a while our ant will die, so we can't run across the water surface. We need to get to over there by jumping on the plants and the rocks that we encounter. Now, ants can hold a lot of water, a surprising amount of water. I remember when I was a kid, we had an ant's nest. Well, I guess it was still there when we moved out of the house, but there was an ant's nest there. And during summer, sometimes some of my family members, not sure whether I did it as well, but we'd pour as much water as they could into the ant's nest to see, how much water actually goes in. Even if you connect up the hose and you sprayed a lot of water into the nest, it just would keep on going. It would never completely fill. They are designed in such a way that lots of water will drain away, but this amount of water would surely saturate the soil, would surely saturate the nest. Yeah, there's no way an ant's nest could survive this amount of water. So we just have to hop along here. Now, ants are not that good at hopping, so it's not the most realistic mechanism to travel around, but it's an interesting way for our ant at least to get from point A to point B. Jumping across the water from log to log or log to rock. I wish we could get to lift on those water striders. They are absolutely stunning insects. I love them. So let's actually go have a look a little bit closer to them. So they spread out their weight, of course, as I mentioned previously, and as you may already know, they spread their weight out over the water here with these long spindly legs that they can then reduce the likelihood, or they prevent themselves from breaking the water surface. This, of course, allows them to walk on the surface of the water here. And that is just absolutely amazing. So these ones most likely belong to the genus Aquarius. So if you ever wondered what an Aquarius looks like, well, there we go. If someone tells them, oh, I do this because I'm an Aquarius, just remind yourself that, they are doing that because they actually are pond skaters in disguise. But these guys, you may wonder, what on earth do they actually eat? Because they're just doing their thing on the water surface here. Well, these are ferocious predators. They are aquatic predators. So they are waiting for something to end up in the water and start struggling. And because they've got their legs in the water there, they can sense vibrations. So if we were to fall into the water here, if the water doesn't get to us, these guys will. Because they will sense the vibrations of us struggling, and they will very quickly head on over to us. They have got piercing mouth parts. They will inject that into our bodies and then inject some enzymes in their saliva, and that starts digesting us. Some digestive enzymes being injected into us, and that then starts breaking us apart. And as a result then, well, we are doomed. Doomed, I tell you. Now, these guys, you may know them from water, from rivers, ponds, those types of things, swimming pools even. I grew up with them going into our little plastic pool we put up every summer, and they were always on the water surface there. It's quite cool to see. You never realize they actually are eating any other insect that gets trapped in there. They prefer a living prey, but they can also potentially scavenge. But 10% of water strider species are actually what we call sea striders. They are in the marine or the ocean environment. They are known as the halobates. Halo referring to salt, and bates or bates referring to treader. So they are the ones that tread on salt. So the halobates, that's quite cool. And Bizarre Beasts did an amazing episode specifically on them. So I'll try to remember to link that in the description below. So have a look at that video. They really are amazing. Now, what I also find fascinating about the water striders is the fact that they exhibit what we call wing polymorphism. Poly meaning many, morphism referring to shape or shapes. So these guys can actually have varying lengths of wings depending on the individual and depending on the season and depending on all kinds of stuff. So with the wing polymorphism, it means that some individuals will have shorter wings, some will have moderate length wings, and some will have longer wings. The ones with longer wings can obviously traverse longer distances or fly longer distances. So long wings are very useful, or for those individuals at least, if they are living in more seasonal environments. So if they need to move away from a pond, for example, that is drying up. Whereas in more permanent bodies of water, shorter wings are great because you don't have to traverse, you don't have to fly so far. The shorter wings also allows them to actually invest more into reproduction because you don't need to spend as much energy and resources making long wings. Instead, you can use the resources to develop more eggs, and you can invest it in your ovaries and so those individuals with shorter wings may have greater reproductive success. And if you're looking at plants and animals in ecology, we very often say that, well, an individual's success is measured by whether they have managed to pass on their genes, if they have managed to reproduce. And if you invest more resources into reproduction, the odds of you actually being successful in an evolutionary sense is higher. So those with shorter wings may have a greater likelihood of actually reproducing, having their genes passed on. Ones with longer wings, however, if conditions are variable and your wetland dries up, they will have a greater chance of actually still surviving and getting to another habitat that does have water. Because I'm not sure about you guys, but I have seen these guys. If you take them out of the water, they just kind of floppy all over the place. These long legs are made for striding on water. These legs are not made for walking on land. Wow, I could look at these guys whole day long. But we do have another mission that we need to undertake. We need to get to the Tayukan, to the city on the other side of this floodplain over here. Alright, so let's make our way over to Tayukan, which is somewhere to that side. Let's just try to not fall in the water, hey Will? And then leap down. We can kind of use our body to move, to glide. This isn't flying, this is falling with style. I'm hoping I can actually get to that branch there. No. Oh, there we go. Ooh. You see there, we almost died because we fell into the water. Okay, but by splaying out our legs and then moving it, or orientating it differently, we can, to some extent, move in a certain direction and control our fall. I'm going to try not to run too fast all over these rocks, because that will cause me to fall into the water, and we don't want that. Just heading up the front of this fern over here. Although ferns don't grow in water necessarily, these ones here, if the water does subside, these ones will survive. If a lot of plants can't handle being submerged in water all the time, so they will need the water to actually subside after a while. I think most of these plants would die if the water remained here indefinitely. But temporary submersion like we have got here at the moment, this should be fine for most of the plants here. I think this... okay, I guess I climb onto the rock here. I was aiming for the plant and I just completely overshot that. Hello, dragonfly. Sheesh, gave me a fright there. Another ant stuck on the... Oh, this is a soldier. Hello there, soldier. I was on my way back when the flood struck. Nobody warned us. Nobody had the time to. The water washed away all the pheromones. And if the water washes away your pheromones, well, then there goes your trail to follow. You don't know where to go. Okay, let's carry on to Tayukan. Try to get to Tayukan. It is still way over there. Long way to go. You know what? I am going to really fall with style. Yes! Haha. There we go. That was a fun one. There appear to be many ways to actually get there. I think previously, in another playthrough, I did go along there when I tried this mission a little bit. Went along those daisies that are standing out of the water there. This time around, I'm going this way around. It's nice that there are multiple ways. Oh, I found another ant stuck on an island. Hello there, ant. Why are you not jumping? Oh, you're exhausted. A friend, a sister, and from Balokan. You can see as she's talking to us, moving the antennae, ants will tappy, they will antennate, basically, that's what it's called. They will bump the antennae, try to sense one another, sense the smells and stuff like that on one another. Any danger? A couple of birds tried to make me their lunch, but my acid kept them away. Ah, yes, that's true. So ants with their formic acid, quite able to defend themselves. Now, where do we go? I'm going to launch myself in this direction. There we go, got that stem. Come on, let me get to the top here. There we go, I'm on top of the world now. And there's a butterfly on the daisy below us over here. Can I get that? Yes, I did. Can you believe it? I got my first butterfly. So this then, of course, a monarch butterfly. And you can see the two antennae sticking out here. And there would also be a proboscis, a sucking mouthpart curled up underneath here. Now, the monarch butterflies, the bright colors here, this appears to be a male. The darker orangish reddish color appears to be that of a male rather than a female. And it's there we go, you can see kind of a spiral right over there. That's the proboscis, the sucking mouthparts of the butterfly. He was just sitting over here trying to drink the nectar that this daisy had available. Not a lot of nectar in the daisy here, but he was trying to drink it. And the bright colors here trying to warn predators to stay away. But us as ants and spiders would also not be affected by the cardiac glycosides, the poisons, the alkaloids that the monarch butterfly actually contains in its bodies. So they will have a lot of poison in their wings, also in their body, but I think the wings are even more distasteful. So we as ants, though, are not affected by this cardiac glycoside, so we can actually eat this monarch butterfly, no worries. Can't believe we caught it. But I guess that goes to show, you never know, you can just sometimes do a random stuff, a random thing, and then voila, you succeed. Right, now we still need to move in that direction. There is a tire over there that I believe will be a bridge for us. For now, we're just going to make our way onto this rock. Hello there, dragonfly. What are you doing? Not laying eggs. If this one were laying eggs, they would actually be putting that backside into the water, plopping the eggs into the water. This one just seems to be hovering in place. There we go, okay. Looking for something to eat. Alright, now it's time to just jump over to that tire over there. There we go. Oh, it is an unknown thing. So let's actually, while we are here, just quickly pick up the pheromones. We're trying to scan it, trying to figure out what is this. Can we eat it? Can we eat it, precious? Can we? Can we? Of course, there is another slug over here as well. Now, I suspect this may be, I'm not sure, 100% sure, but it may be the Spanish slug here, Arion vulgaris. Now, Arion there refers to a book many years ago by a Roman author, and in that it's De Natura Animalia, I think, the nature of animals. And in there were the Ariones, which were snails that could leave their shells behind while they are feeding to outsmart predators, so that the predators attack the empty shells. And of course, slugs, they are gastropods like snails, but without shells. So that's a nice little story there. And that's where Arion comes from, the genus name of that. So it's like the Ariones, these weird little snails that can leave their shells behind. Vulgaris, on the other hand, means that it is common. It is the common slug. This one is, if it is Arion vulgaris, it is known as the Spanish slug. It is most likely indigenous then to Spain, but it is considered an invasive species in many places, including North America. So yeah, let's see. Blue Drop, one of the door beetles here, once is looking for spies. Brrr, grrr, brrr. Okay, good luck out there, beetle. I don't think we can speak beetle, unfortunately. Alright, we do still need to get over there, though. But yeah, so I used the term a little bit earlier, gastropods. Pod referring to, foot. Gastro is stomach. So gastropods, snails and slugs, are literally known as stomach feet because it looks like they're moving on their stomach. So it's like if you were to just plop down onto the ground and flop around on your stomach, you would technically also be a gastropod. And look at this trail of slime that it is also leaving behind. Alright, we still need to get there. Still a long way to go and lots of little plants in between. Oh, jumping spider. Jumping spider. Oh, very good eyesight, the jumping spiders. There it is. The surprising predator. Using its legs to jump and hop, it hunts quickly. Be on your guard at all times. Okay, we don't want to die. So let's not head that way, shall we? And let's try to plop around to this side. Jumping spiders, some of the best eyesight in the world. So yeah, you really don't want, if you're a little invertebrate little ant, you don't want to be attacked by them. Now, a lot of animals, like the assassin bugs we had in Empires of the Undergrowth, in the Matabele ant. No, I'm walking into the water there. That's not a good plan. Like the Matabele ants we played as in the Empires of the Undergrowth, they actually plop dead ants on their bodies so that they mimic a whole bunch of ants, because jumping spiders will attack a lone ant, but they won't attack a whole swarm of ants. So that may be a good defense mechanism against jumping spiders. So we are a single ant. The jumping spider would almost certainly have spotted us by now, but it may not be keen to actually come all the way where we are now. So I think we are safe here where we are. Yay, we made it across. That is just marvelous. Now let's not die so close to where we need to go. I mean, look at this. This is like probably like a 2-meter stretch from there to here. Okay, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 4 meters maximum. But look how long it took us to actually get from there to here. Now, granted, I did get distracted along the way by things like those water striders, but still, it takes a long time for a little ant to make a journey like that. And it is a horrific experience for a little creature like us. But there we go. I think we need to head to that lookout point right over there. And wow, this is quite a large flood. I mean, look at that. The river clearly has overflowed its banks. This is quite a disturbed environment. Now, disturbed environments like this, as the water subsides now, this will be ripe for new colonies to actually come and establish. And species that can reproduce quickly, pioneer-type ant species, would most likely establish here. Because, next season there may be another flood actually coming along here, wiping out all the ants that were here. And when the water subsides, those quickly reproducing individuals, those species can actually re-establish colonies again. So disturbed environments like this floodplain area over here will favor certain species of ants and certain species of animals and plants over others. For now, we're just making our way right to the end here, and we made it. We did not die once during this mission, and that is just absolutely marvelous. And now we are just going to click continue and head on over back to our nest. Actually, no, we're not at our nest. This is now Tayukan. This is where we will carry on next time. So thank you very much for joining us on our little adventure here, everybody. Hope you had a fun time. Hope you learned something as well. It has been a lot of fun for me. We did one mission, literally one mission, but it was quite fun. I'll be back again on Tuesday with another episode of Empire of the Ants. And between now and then, of course, on Sunday, Nick and I will also be live streaming Enshrouded. So come and join us 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock South African time. Basically, almost Central European time for that as well. And until next time, everybody, stay safe. I'll see you all soon. Cheers!